What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome. This Friday edition of hopefully week one of the Let's Talk Houston Rockets weeknight shows for the summer. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Hope you're doing well out there. Quick hitter, kind of quick, based on you guys' comments as you're watching here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. I hope you had a chance to see the post that I made on the Roundball Review community tab on YouTube. Click on that post, that tab, because I posted a pic of Quinton Grimes in town. Yes, that Quinton Grimes in town, working out at his alma mater, University of Houston, inside the Guy V. Lewis Development Facility. The Cougs men's team finished their first week of practice, and Quinton was there, got on the court after practice, having some fun, talking to some of us, catching up with some of us. And then he did his workout after we left, really. But it's good to see him. Always good to see a winner of the Guy V. Lewis Award. Quinton won the award in 2018. The Guy V. Lewis Award goes to the best boys high school player in the greater Houston area. And Quinton won it in 2018. And now he is a free agent waiting, hoping to get paid this summer of NBA free agency. So if you want to talk about that real quick, your dreams of Quinton becoming a Rocket, feel free to add those comments if you want to. But we're going to talk about Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeff. And let me do this on the slide. It probably won't look good, but so what? You're to me. Going to add this slide here for you. Comments from Uncle Jeff. Wednesday on the Zach Lowe Show, Jeff Green said he wants to reach 20 years in the league. You all know he was the number 5 overall pick of the Seattle Supersonics. Yes, the Sonics way back when, in the 2007 NBA draft. So said he would like to reach 20 years in the NBA. So he need 2 more years to reach 20. Technically, he's only played 17 years in the NBA because he missed the strike-shortened 2011-12 season after having heart surgery. Uncle Jeff told Zach Lowe, I want to play as long as I can. The goal is to get to 20 years, so too shy. Houston has been home for me for the last couple of years, and I want to keep it that way. Hopefully we can make something work where I can retire there, whether it be 20 or 21 years. My wife says 20 and that's it. So I think I know what that is. So 2 more years it is. Are y'all want Uncle Jeff to be re-signed by the Rockets this summer? Do you want Uncle Jeff to retire a Rocket? Be here for 2 more seasons after this one? Do you care? Or do you want to talk about the Pacers representing the Eastern Conference well last night with that come-from-behind win over the West Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC in Game 1 of the NBA Finals? What are your thoughts about that? Kudos to the Pacers and kudos to Hallie, for the game winner. The Pacers led the game for 0.3 of a second. And that's all that mattered because it was the last 0.3 in the ball game. Fun game. But about Uncle Jeff, or we want to talk about Kevin Durant as a Rocket. Have you changed your tune about Kevin Durant signing a contract extension with the Rockets? Is that no longer a no-go for you? Are you okay with KD being with the Rockets for 2 or 3 seasons? I think about it. I wonder if Jeff and KD have talked, because Jeff said he wants to be a Rocket for 2 or 3 more years. Jeff and KD were teammates. So what if KD and Jeff had talked about being teammates in Houston with the Rockets? I wonder about that. Tandem Nights, how you doing? You're becoming a reliable contributor to the discussion. Appreciate that. Tandem Knight says yes on Uncle Jeff, yes on Grimes with an exclamation mark. Jeff is a good influence on the young guys, a coach on the floor. I think Grimes is intriguing. We need shooting for sure. Oh, let's see. I joke with Q real quick. It's nothing. I knew what he was going to say, but I was joking with him what was it, this morning? Yeah, it was this morning on the court. And I said, hey, man, do you have a message you want to say to the Rocket fans? And he said, no comment. No comment. So just putting it out there. But like I said, it's always good to see Q. I covered him, obviously, when he was with the Cougs and Coach Sampson. And he has so much respect for what Coach Samp has done for his NBA career, his development as a player and also as a man. So it's always good to see Quinton Grimes, part of the first Final Four team under Coach Sampson. So, he comes back a lot. Family's still here. But today was the first time for the media to have speak with the team after their first week of practice. So if you have not already seen some of the videos I posted for some of the players for the Cougs after this show, go to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel and take a look at comments from Kingston Flemings, one of the four freshmen, Isaiah Harwell, another of the four freshmen, Milos Uzan talked as well, posted that, and Ramon Walker. So 4 Cougs, I posted comments from them. Probably post a couple more on Saturday, space them out, and then Sunday evening on this channel, we'll have folks talking sports with my colleagues, and we're going to dive into the NCAA house settlement. Judge Wilkins finally made her decision to approve the settlement. So that means the players will be getting paid officially by the universities starting July 1st. But back to it. Uncle Jeff. Do you want Uncle Jeff to be a Rocket this season, next season, another season? You want him to get his 20 years in the league as a Rocket? Would you like to see Uncle Jeff retire as a Rocket? Is there who on the Rockets right now, Tandem Knights, you don't want to be on the roster next year? Free agent Rockets right now. Who do you not want the Rockets to sign and bring back? Justin, how are you doing? Appreciate you chiming in as well. Uncle Jeff has been through a lot. He wants to ride off into the sunset. He got his NBA ring with the Nuggets. I think you all would agree, as Rocket fans, you would like to see Uncle Jeff get his second ring with the Rockets. But do you want, Justin, Tandem Knights, do you want or do you believe Jayshawn Tate will be back? Do you believe Aaron Holiday will be back, should be back? What do you think? Jayshawn, Tandem Knight states, I think Cam and Lindell, maybe Tate could be trade fodder. And put on your general manager hat. Who would you like the Rockets to acquire if Cam, Jock Landale, and maybe Jayshawn Tate are involved in a trade? Who do you want the Rockets to trade those 3 players or 2 of those 3 and get in return? All right. So much depends on what happens with KD and Giannis. What do you want to happen with KD and Giannis regarding the Rockets as it pertains to the Rockets? Of those 2 Tandem Knights, you have a preference? Do you want either one of those future Hall of Famers to be Rockets or somebody else? Justin says they are acting like Adams will be gone for Lopez. That's the replacement if Steven decides to go somewhere else. Rockets have been chasing Lopez since the Harden era. His time has passed for the Rockets. Rather keep Adams. Steven Adams is a better fit, better rebounder, better interior presence on defense. Brook Lopez is not the shot blocker he used to be. He's not the rebounder he used to be. Obviously, he's a much better three-point shooter than Steven Adams, which Brook could help the Rockets' spacing on offense if Steven Adams decides to sign elsewhere and the Rockets opt to sign Brook Lopez. Be a different look for the Rockets. Justin, Asleep Art, how are you doing? Thank you for chiming in this Friday night. Depends on price. It seems like all the trade rumors want Rockets to give up more than other teams. Y'all know how I feel about trade rumors that are leaked to the public or that are put out there publicly. It's just for discussion. More times than not, they're put out there by the agents of the players, and more trades become official are one we don't hear about. Just keep that in mind, because it's as the draft approaches, you're going to hear more and more rumors about deals involving draft picks. So, as my colleague Willie Gibson says on Folks Talking Sports, it's lying season. Okay, so keep that in mind. It is lying season. Justin states we gotta stop getting players that are past their prime. Tandem nights, shooting. This is what the Rockets need. Isn't Buddy Hield a free agent? I thought we should have snagged him a few years back. Justin, you've been around long enough. You know that it is mostly the agents, but the newcomers, the youngsters, don't know. And they retweet anything they see that involves their favorite team. Oh, we're going to get so-and-so. Oh, what about this trade? No, slow your roll. Consider the source. Always consider the source when you see all these trade rumors and this team is interested in so-and-so and blah. Consider the source. Justin, we know the Suns want to get back their draft capital. They would like to, sure. Doesn't mean Rockets have to do that. You know, Tandem Nights, Stone made that deal to get Phoenix's picks, so we would have leverage for KD and Booker. Then there were reports that the Rocks cooled on KD and Booker. Did they change direction midstream? Matt Ishbia seems to be married to Devin Booker, even though Devin Booker probably would get, or more likely would bring back more assets in a trade for the Suns than KD. But Ishbia, he's Ishbia, and hey, he's owner. He can do with the Suns what he wants to with his money. But whatever. Yes, Justin, I'm glad you brought that up. Is it true that DJ Augustin will be in the front office for the Rockets? I don't believe his role has been defined. Kelly Iko was the first to report that. Ironically, I saw DJ. We were in an elevator together, Game 7. and how, he was in. I think he was with, I think his kids were with him, I think. But seeing him, I was like, good to see you, man. That kind of thing. Just left it alone. I didn't think about asking any other reason because I figured he was there to watch the game, But yes, he will be at the front office. So I wonder if they are making a new role for him or if he's going to replace someone in a current role. Time will tell. We'll learn soon enough. Chandler Knights, I think the absolute best fit for the Rockets would be Booker. I believe you are not alone in that thought. But again, take it for what it's worth. Matt Ishbia, I do believe, I may be wrong. Matt Ishbia would trade Devin Booker for the right deal. It would involve a lot. It would take a lot to get him to divorce himself from Devin Booker. But, Devin Booker was involved in the coaching hire decision. Although, how much involvement when Ishbia decided to go with another Michigan State guy. Whatever, but Booker was involved in the process. Phoenix will ask for way too much. I'm assuming you're talking about for Booker, because not for KD, apparently, reportedly. And Mr. Big Texco, good to hear from you as well. Thank you for chiming in on tonight's edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. weeknight editions, trying this out. Well, this is the third one this week. Try to do probably at least 3 of these for the rest of the month during the week. Most likely won't be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, if there are Tuesdays and Thursdays, it'll all be, the start time will always be 9:00 for the weeknight shows. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's the hope. So if they go well, you guys like it, like the interaction, keep doing them. And then, of course, once football season starts, college football season with the Cougs, Saturdays will be Let's Rage Cougs. And then Sundays, hopefully, will be Folks Talking Sports. And then once hoops season starts, and it'll be Rockets and Cougs here on the channel. All right. Just a lot of ex-Rockets are staying in Houston. Jaylen Green, with new Big Three. And the Big Three game will be in August at downtown. And it'd be nice if they would want to advertise on this show, and I'll talk more about them. Because beyond that, what I just said is what you'll hear. I'm done talking about the Big Three in Houston. I'm a businessman. I'm an independent businessman. I can promote you. I'll promote you if the price is right. Beyond that, that's that. Asleep Art, Giannis would help out any team, but that price scares me. KD's price shouldn't be too high. Salary fillers plus a couple picks wouldn't be bad no more. Correct Cuts, how are you doing? Missed you the previous 2 shows this week talking about draft prospects. Colin Murray Boyles and Cedric Coward. Check those out if you haven't already. Correct Cuts. Give me your thoughts on those 2 possible draftees. One more than the other was a favorite of the Rocket fans of those 2. And it wasn't Colin Murray Boyles. Cedric Coward was a better fit and better option for, according to Rocket fans, during our discussions. I guess the Midnight Ace is trolling because bring back Harden at point guard. If we trade for KD, it'll be cheap since Harden is free agent. James staying with the Clippers. He's not going to take a pay cut to come back to Houston. How much of a pay cut do you think James would take? That's not happening. No. Oh. But in Midnight Ace, I think you are in a small group. If you're being serious, I can't tell because it's just typing and I can't hear your voice. You are in a small group of folks who would like James Harden to return to the Rockets. I don't think that. Yeah, a pay cut, and that was still $34 million, wasn't it? So it's still he's got to take more than that to come back here. Or you want Fred to be part of a trade for James? Not happening. All right. Tam the Knight says for the Rockets, Faves, Cedric Coward. Really? I'm surprised y'all like high on Mr. Carter Bryant from Arizona. And Kasparis Jakusonis from Illinois. I could see him as he fits a need. Cedric Coward is high risk, high reward. Carter Bryant, he's not a great shooter right now. I mean, he's young, got potential and all, but he doesn't really fit a need. And I don't see him making an impact immediately. Or does that matter to you guys? Do any of you believe that the 10th pick in the draft, if the Rockets keep it and use it, should make an impact on the team this season? Or are y'all okay with the belief that Reed Shepherd will make a positive impact in year 2 with the Rockets? Are y'all okay with that? I do believe Cam won't be here at least at the latest by the deadline in February. I just don't see it. Now, if he gets playing time early and proves it and shines, okay. But if he gets playing time early and doesn't shine, no. Or if he gets playing time and pouts and doesn't do the thing to stay on the floor, no, he's gone. Let's see. Derek Queen I don't believe he's a fit for the Rockets. He's low post skilled player, not a great athlete. He's young. They kind of got a young, low post skilled player, not a great athlete already. Oh, we just touched on that. Yeah, and I could see that kind of like that comparison right there for Derek Queen and Zach Randolph. But is that a good fit for the Rockets? Do you think? Cam Whitmore and the 10 pick are getting shipped out. I'm trying to talk to his agent. I need to finally make that phone call. Correct cuts. We touched on DJ joining the Rockets front office probably moments before you joined tonight's show. Don't know his specific role. I'm not sure if he's going to be in a new role or if he's going to replace someone who's leaving the front office. Good to see you join the discussion. I know you ask about it when I do a show on Friday. And hey, you made them when you can. Don't worry about it. We're going to do more next week. 9:00 starts on Central Time. So if you can make it 9:00, make it when you can. You can always go back and watch the first few minutes of tonight's show. No worries whatsoever. Glad you're here. Join the discussion. And ironically, tonight's discussion initially was talking about Uncle Jeff and Jeff Green's desire to re-sign with the Rockets and his hope to retire as a Rocket, play 20 years in the league in the last couple with the Rockets. And then I put out there, I wonder if Jeff said it on the Zach Lowe show, to be a Rocket for another 2 or 3 years, if he's talked to KD, and KD has said he is going to be a Rocket for another 2 or 3 years. Just putting it out there. I don't know if Jeff, I'm sure KD and Jeff have talked, but I don't know if it's about that, And lo and behold, Jeff and I have a favorite football team in common. He was surprised when I told him about that. He is a Washington Commanders fan, just like me. So we had fun talking about the great year that the Commanders had this past season. Okay, this is good. If it's a legit photo, Jaylen Green put out a photo on social media showing the muscles in his back, basically saying he's in the weight room getting stronger. Well, many of y'all believe he needs to. Got to get stronger to bounce off and absorb the contact on his drives and to brush off contact on his drives, so he's not knocked off stride when he's dribbling to the hoop. Would our young guys grow enough in that 3-year timeline? They would have to. I mean, that's the hope for Rafael Stone. I'm not sure I agree with all that. And then get on back to the comments here. Mike Will, how you doing, my man? Rockets need a true rim protector and rim runner. Correct Cuts has doubts about Reed in his second year. He says, I don't know if he'll be ready, but I hope he's ready to contribute. I hope his role will expand next season. Tandon Knights, how old are you? With this reference, I want to keep Jaylen Green, but he needs to get the old Pistol Pete VHS dribbling video and watch it every day of the summer. His handles are pathetic. His handles need work. Jabari's need work as well. Uncle Jeff probably tired. I mean, he's family's here, kind of settled down here. Reed does need minutes. It's hard to play well if you don't play. So asleep art, Uncle Jeff is like Haslam used to be. He's a plus because with his culture, presence. I like where you went with that, but I think Uncle Jeff has more in his basketball tank than Udonis had. Last year or so, Udonis, he wasn't really an positive impact on the floor for the Heat, at all. So, but locker room presence, no question. solid locker room presence. But Uncle Jeff, a sleep art, says Reed should get another year before we crucify him. And this, yeah, just you know this, I've said it as well. Jaylen dribbles too much. He makes stuff too complicated. Attack. Just you need to attack. You can do a little crossover dribble and explode to the rim. It's not necessary for the 3, 4, 5 extra dribbles that get you nowhere. So come on. Correct Cuts asks, so we're all on the bandwagon of not bringing Durant. No, I don't know about all of y'all, all the family. It's kind of like 50-50 on Rocket fans and KD being a Rocket. So, but Jaymon, how are you doing? Jaymon, thank you for your service, but it's time for the Rockets to move on. Jaymon, even if Uncle Jeff is like the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th man, you still want the Rockets to move on? If his role is, in case of emergency, break glass, that's all it is? Tender nights, Jeff Green is still athletic and can contribute on the court. Career cuts, shifting the barn for him, not worth it. Well, tandem nights, talking about JG as in Jaylen, has all the athleticism in the world, but he has no natural feel for the game. It's very artificial. How much veteran minimum? I mean, should be more than that. Maybe whatever. Which exception is the what is it? The 5.8, whatever that exception is. I doubt I'd spend that on him, but either one of those options, no more than that. Mike Will, I'm good with Durant as long as he can stay healthy, especially in the playoffs, and we don't give up a king ransom for him. And Mike Will, are you good with the Rockets signing KD to a 2-year contract extension next summer? Worth a lot. A lot of money. Within reason. I mean, but KD wants another 2 years after this one for sure. Jaymon does not want the Rockets to trade the pick at all. Like, we're probably going to be adding another rookie through the draft, which would take up a spot. I hope the Rockets don't trade the pick. CD, how are you? Thank you for chiming in. Uncle Jeff is way better to have on the end of the bench than Boban was. Yeah. Correct Cuts. 4 years. Kris, we've seen 4 years from Jaylen. We know who he is as a player. How do you feel? I don't think he'll be here. I don't think he'll be here long term. I don't think he should be here long term. And get back to it. Because after the second round, the semifinals in the Western Conference, and how well Ant-Man did, I compared Anthony Edwards to Jaylen Green, the job both did against the Warriors, and Ant-Man did such a much better job than Jaylen did. Ant-Man struggled against OKC. Was he worn out? Was he too tired? He didn't shoot well. He wasn't aggressive enough. Wasn't consistent enough. He just had too much to carry. Not enough help from his teammates. Is that what it is? Or was his performance against OKC clearly the better team? Give you any pause and say, well, maybe the gap between Jaylen and Anthony Edwards is not as wide as we think. I think still kind of wide, but anyway, I want y'all's thoughts on that. Green came from the failed G League Ignite squad. Most of those players on that team didn't pan out as expected. Kuminga, yep. The kid from Alabama that tore UH when Sasser was playing. Yeah, who was that? It'll come to me in a second. James Harden, how are you? I think KD influence in the locker room will help grow some of these young players we have. They look up to him. Asleep art, putting this out there again from people act like Durant didn't just put up 26 points per game last year. He's still a top year player. We're trying to win a chip, right? Justin, I was watching Indiana and was thinking to myself, like, man, why can't Green be big time like Halliburton? That man rises to the occasion constantly and doesn't shy away. And also this, get you guys' thoughts on this as well. OKC and Indiana, both head coaches utilize their bench in the playoffs. They're not afraid. Coach Dagno, Coach Carlisle, neither one is afraid to play 9, 10, 11 in a game. And it's worked because both of them are in the NBA Finals. So it is possible to use your bench beyond 8 and get to the finals. It is possible. Just putting out there for all the coaches who always said, well, the playoffs, everything slows down and you only play 8 players and blah, blah, blah. You don't. That's not etched in stone. J-Mom believes a trade for KD would just be a 1-year rental. You think so? You think the Rockets wouldn't? If the Rockets traded for KD, I believe it would be with the intent of re-signing him or signing him to not long term, but to another contract. Chandler Knights, the problem with KD is we have to pay him after year 1, and the young core needs to get paid as well. That is, if you keep the young core, all the young core here. The problem with Giannis is he requires shooting around him to succeed. Booker is the play. Durant only played 46 games. At his age, you'll get just as much production from Durant as the Clippers do for Kawhi. Greg Cutts is not interested in a part-time superstar. And it wraps it up. We don't need him. This is true. Good point. And that's part of learning. Rick Carlisle he's old. I mean, he is still old school in some areas. He wanted to stick to a certain number of guys, but once he loosened up, they started winning. And he also realized that, hey, defense is necessary to win and go far in the playoffs. Yes, they're going to play fast and all those kind of things. But when it's time to get stops, I got to have guys convinced that defense is important. And that's why the Pacers have played so well lately, is they started buying into defense and scoring off of getting stops and defense rebounds. Vic, how are you doing? Are we ready to have Amin as our starting point guard? What do y'all think about that? I'm going to say no. CD says nobody is as good as Ant is in his age range, and position. We shouldn't compare or expect that from Green. He has played 1 playoff series. Let's give all the young players a chance to grow. Who agrees with that? Who agrees with that assessment from CD? CD, you might be alone or not have as many folks from the family with you in that assessment. I think Correct Cut says Jaylen Green's been there 4 years and he is who he is and isn't going to get any better. So y'all, I think, agree to disagree right there. Justin, that was Carlisle's issue in Dallas. He wouldn't give those young guys a chance. Was stuck in his ways. This man had Jalen Brunson. Hey. All the Pacers can make shots. All of them can hit threes. Tender Knights, no on Amin as point guard. That's why we drafted Reed. Amin is too good roaming the baseline. Amen is not a point guard. He's a wing. I don't believe point guard is his best position, is maximizing his skills. He can bring it up sometimes, facilitate sometimes, but not as a starting point guard. I don't want to see him playing starting point guard, playing a lot of minutes as a starting point guard. Backup, injury, come off the bench. When Reed sits down or Fred sits down and run the offense for 3 minutes, okay. But long term, a lot of minutes, no. Who are non-star players that everyone wants? Who's your wish list? Oh, let me say this again. That no one person is on the wish list of Rocket fans. If you are just now joining the show or just joined the last few minutes, I saw this young man, spoke to him earlier today inside the Guy V. Lewis practice facility. Quinton Grimes is in town working out inside his alma mater's practice facility. Saw Q today. And if you missed it, I'll say this again. I asked Quinton, I said, hey, man, good to see you. Do you have a message you want to share with Rockets fans? And he just laughed and said, no comment. Jamon says he wants Colin Sexton. Correct cuts. Jaylen needs to be relegated to the bench until traded. He should never be a headliner. Ooh, that's harsh right there. Wow. Justin heard a trade scenario about the Rockets' 10th pick and Cam for Cam Johnson. I mean, it doesn't move the needle for me. I don't mean, is that an upgrade to you, Justin, to anybody? I want Cam Johnson to be, I guess, and then move Dillon Brooks to the bench, I guess, and have Cam as a starting 3. Who would you rather have? If you could trade for him, and I haven't played with a trade machine, I haven't done trade scenarios about what it would take. But Justin, Mr. Big Texco, correct cuts, Jamon, Games Harden, and those, Mike Will, those who are watching but not commenting, that's okay too. If you could wave your magic wand, would you rather have Quinton Grimes or Cam Johnson? Just putting it out there. Solar, how you doing? So the question right now is, see, James Harden says Dillon's more valuable. So he's than Cam Johnson. Well, answers that question from him. I'll say it one more time. So my question right now is, the discussion is, if you could, would you rather have Quinton Grimes or Cam Johnson? And like I said, I don't know what it would take money-wise. I know Q wants to get paid. I know that. I mean, that's not a secret. Who is the better shooter, Grimes or Cam Johnson? I have to look up the numbers. I'm not really sure numbers-wise. I know when Q gets rolling and gets him out of heater, he's something else. Tanner says Q for him. Let's see. Mike Will says Grimes. CD says, I know I'm in the minority, but the U of H starters are the same age or older than our young core. Years in the league doesn't make you a man or a finished product when you come in as a teenager. That's true. And that won't be the case this year, though, because I think 2 of the Cougs starters will be freshmen. I'll be 18 years old. And one of them most likely will be in the draft next year. Asleep Art says the only starter worth upgrading is Green. No, Justin, that a lot of the fans on here, they're not, they don't have blind loyalty. A lot of these folks, you know, the members of the family, they tell it like it is. There's not a lot of rockets, rose-colored glasses from members of this family. Games Harden, Grimes is younger. Want him. Correct cuts. Doesn't think Cam Johnson moves the needle for me. Grimes would be interesting. Solo says a go with Grimes. But he also adds Cam Johnson shot 39% from three last season. Mr. Big Texco thinks this is he's meant Q hands down. He has progressed and his development is undeniable. A star in the making. Jamon, see, there you go, Justin. Jamon would take Cam Johnson. I remember that game. yeah. He was on a heater during the game, but he had too many turnovers, and his mistakes down the stretch allowed the Rockets to complete a comeback. I remember that. But he was rolling. He put on a show. His handles are still a bit too loose. He made a bad decision, but he was lighting them up. I think Ackerman almost wanted to say a few times, damn. Rockets can't stop Quinton Grimes. Solo states you can't go wrong with either one. To be honest, Joseph, how are you doing? If we give up too much, it's not a 50-plus win team. And Joseph, in your opinion, what would be too much? And who would it be for? Would it be too much involving a trade for Giannis? Because I don't believe it would acquire too much to get Kevin Durant. Would I give up Green for Jordan Clarkson? Not really. It's about the same to me. Armani Brooks. Armani. I don't know if Armani's still finished his year in the NBA or finished it overseas. I'll say this publicly. He shouldn't have gone to the league early. I think he made a mistake. I think, and he's paid for it ever since. And I wish him well. I mean, he's a Coug, but I think he should have stayed for his last year. And he would have been a man in offense his last year. But my son is done. He could be. Mr. Garland could be available from Cleveland. Last thing. Let me see here. See these. I'm going to go through these, then I'll ask a question, and then I'll wrap it up. Which starter is the easiest to find a major upgrade that would jump us into a contender? That's a good question. Justin agreed. It's good that Milos did not make that mistake. And he's returning. And he'll have a bigger role. He told us that today. He will have a bigger role in the offense. But my last question to the family. Based on the NBA Finals matchup, OKC and Indiana, both those franchises, for the most part, have improved through continuity. They made a trade here and there, acquisition, getting Caruso, but the core, it's a young core, especially in OKC's case. They haven't really disrupted the core. They've stuck with continuity. Has the fact that Indiana, OKC have gotten this far changed your mind if you were with the Rockets to make a change, family, and just now shifted your mindset, thought process to continuity? Or do you still want the Rockets to make a trade, not necessarily a blockbuster trade, but do some things that impact the core and change the core? Correct cuts. I think we'll see some movement in this offseason. We have to improve. He doesn't see Stone just standing pat, solo, staying put. I hope that Ime will play the young guys more next season over the vets. Justin, it depends on the coaching. He has a pedigree. He's a championship coach. It depends on the coaching. Tandem nights in the new NBA, continuity and building through the draft is the way to go. Asleep Art, being honest, I just want to keep Giannis away from the Spurs. Correct cuts. I'd like to stick with continuity, but we can't. Neither Indy or OKC ever had a star play on their teams have mental lapses like Jaylen had. Midnight Ace, hear me out. Would you help facilitate a KD trade since we own Phoenix future? Maybe we could get even more, absorbing Bill's contract for this year and trade. Oh, no. No. That would take too much talent to give up to match the salaries. That would really break up the Rockets' core. Solo believes Rockets should only make a move around the margins. Asleep Art, you're not alone in that. I think they understand this too. OKC cannot afford everyone much longer. This core might be together for maybe 2 more years, and then the salary cap is going to force them to make some changes due to finances. Joseph wants Whitmore for veteran scorer. Well, that'll do it. Thank you as always for your comments and your questions and joining and participating and adding to the discussion on this edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Brad Bill doesn't have a no trade clause, but he could waive it if he wanted to. But so he has to pick the team that he wants to go to and waive the no trade clause. But I would not want him here. He's getting well paid and little else in Phoenix. But thank you as always for joining in on the conversation. Hit the like button, smash the like button, spread the word about this show. Going to try to do this at least 3 times a week, next week as well, and then going forward. But the next show that I will be a part of will be this Sunday evening at 6:00 Central Time on Folks Talking Sports with my colleagues. We're going to talk the NBA Finals, of course, but get into more college news, the revenue sharing news that finally became approved by the judge this evening. Talk some Big 12, Big 10, SEC, all that and more. But as always, y'all know how I conclude the shows. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.
Game over.